Says you are live. Hey guys, Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing this live on a Sunday. Doing it on a Sunday because hopefully now that we're in June and things are picking up, you'll get a chance to kind of pop in and get a little sword sharpening activities. You know that's from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The author escapes me right now, but anyway, sharpening your sword is just as important as the cut, right? You're out there trying to make that money, but you're going to have to make some adjustments if you're going to be successful. Now, here is what I wanted to talk about. The normal default to when it gets busy is to go into reactive mode. I have to put out fires. This person has no air conditioning. This employee needs my help. This situation needs my attention, and you're just running. And the summertime brings that into any and all businesses naturally. The determining factor on how much that owns you is just, quite honestly, how organized your processes are and how organized your systems are. And so my encouragement to you this summer is to take time every day during your reactive mode, running, and do something proactive for your business. And I'm going to explain to you really quickly why that matters. Right now, I get calls from HVAC business owners who are my age and older, who've been stuck in this their entire adult life, and they're still climbing in attics. They're still climbing in crawl spaces. They're still toting the tool belt, and they still have trouble getting decent employees and getting the kind of work that they know that they are worth, getting the money they're worth, selling the equipment level they want. And quite honestly, there's nothing wrong with most of these owners' technical ability. A lot of them are really good. What's lacking is the lack of direction. And so right now we're going to be going into the summer. And so, I do coaching as well as training, many of you know. And so the same dynamic happens. I have people who were supposed to be speaking once a week, and they ended up moving their appointments around, and that's okay. I mean, to a certain level. But then there are those that cancel. We'll have to pick this up after the summer. And so here's what they do. They go out and they go for the low-hanging fruit. That is a sale right here, right now. I'm in this house. I'm going to get everything I can out of this opportunity. And so I'll make that $300, $400 worth of a service call. I might convert it into a replacement, make $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and then move on to the next one. And while on the surface that appears to be like a really good plan, in reality, it's short-sighted, because we are in a business that is reactive when it's really intense in the weather. And then in between, like in October, when this stuff really starts dipping, we don't have anything to do. We run out of work. There's nothing to react to. And the reason that we hurt during those times, maybe not so much in October, but definitely after you come out of the winter, and winters generally, depending on what part of the country you're in, of course, are not as profitable as summers. Summers just tend to generate more revenues. Generally, before you start hitting around springtime, before you hit next summer, that's when it really hurts. Because did you make enough last summer to carry you through? And that's the cycle. And so there's guys my age and older that are just stuck in that cycle. And quite honestly, they're just going to have to sell their business, which essentially is the equivalent of selling a phone number, because the business has no value. And so what can you do in order to be more proactive? Well, there's a ton of things you can do. Look at it this way. What is that short-term solution? Well, I get them running. I get the air conditioner running. I get payment for my time. I stick that in the bank, and I go to the next one. What are we doing in our processes that will allow us to push work towards October, to create opportunity during the off seasons? Preventive maintenance, right? Preventive maintenance agreements are key, but that's not all. but they are key. There are a lot of things that we should be doing right now. And it doesn't take but 5 minutes while you're there. It does take discipline because you want to run to that next call, put the brakes on, plant the seeds, convert that customer to a maintenance agreement customer, and be looking at opportunities for off-season work. I mean, if you're there in June and July, and that attic where the duct system may be located in this example, it's 120 degrees plus. I mean, do you really want to send your people up there to replace all that duct work? Generally, you'll just pass on the sale. I'm not gonna, all the duct work will be okay. Just turn a blind eye, right? Duct work's fine, but it's not. So let's say that you put a system in place and it allowed you to sell that, take a deposit today, and schedule it for a time in which your team can be up there working, and they're not really over, actually dangerous, but they're not uncomfortable. They can work under conditions like that. They much prefer it, right? So what can we do? And so we can start putting these strategies in place to do that. Now, maintenance agreements. Yeah, I know about maintenance agreements. Okay, all right. How many do you have? How many maintenance agreements do you have residentially? If you're residential, commercially, if you're commercial, or both, if you're a mix, and how many do you have in relation to your gross volume and total revenues? In other words, I'm $1 million company and I've got 100 maintenance agreements, right? Or 1,000. I can almost tell you the health of your business based on that ratio. There's exceptions, but for the most part, there's a direct correlation. That guy that's out there working from summer to summer, and he's getting old, when it comes time to sell his business, will receive very little money, probably a big old goose egg. That all they've worked all these years. But the one that is just loaded with maintenance agreements, there's an actual value. If somebody knows what they're looking at, if they're HVAC business purchaser and they know what to look for, it's one of the first questions they're going to ask you. How many maintenance agreements do you have? How many extended warranty agreements do you have? What is it that you have that entangles that customer to your business and not to you personally? When you retire and go away, what makes those customers come back? And so this is part of your exit plan. So, but the point is, if you basically have the boat going in the right direction in the summertime. So you're down there rowing underneath, but who's up top steering? Nobody. Unless you periodically jump up there, adjust your direction a little bit, set that, and then run back down and start rowing some more. You see, working in your business and working on your business, just like Michael Gerber said in the E-Myth, are two different things. In order to do that, Stephen Covey, the author of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he recommended sharpening your saw. And the correlation there was 2 teams. They had the saws sawing down this big tree, one on each end. One team just worked. The other team would stop, sharpen the blade, and go back and work. Stop, sharpen the blade. And the ones that stopped and sharpened the blade actually had more production success than the ones that did not. Don't wear yourself out. Stop and sharpen the saw. Get coaching. Listen, your employees need you to give them direction. They need you to hold them accountable to their activities. They need you to lead and direct and motivate them. What about you? Who do you have? Well, Pete, I have to pay the bills. That's my motivation. That's motivation enough. I know it is, but motivation without accurate direction, without plotting the right course, is going to get you forward, but forward to where? Whenever you're engineering a process, your company's direction, we want to know what the end result needs to be and reverse engineer it so that our activities today will get us there. And right now is the time that everybody forgets it. Everybody gets out there and they're hustling, they're running, and they're doing this and they're doing that. And they won't take those 5 minutes and convert that to a maintenance agreement customer or plant that seed, that air distribution system really needs to be upgraded, or zoning, or whatever it is that you really don't have the time to do right now, but it needs to be done. All you have to do is reschedule. But everything is built on trust. Trust is a result of a relationship. Relationships are results of maintenance agreements where you're going out there and you're seeing your customer on a regular basis. A relationship forms. It's not that hard, but that's part of the process. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with HVAC Greatness and the HVAC Greatness X Factor program, that's coming. So we're going to be putting little tidbits right here. So watch the channel. We're going to be putting little tidbits out and showing a little bit of what that's all about, because right now when you're all out there running the calls, I'm inside filming all the new products. And for those of you who prefer to be taught this way, where we can talk about it on video and I can screen share and show you how this document works, and here's how they exercise, here's how you do your demographic research, here's how you do your budgeting for your marketing, here's how you develop a process for the right service call, for the best service call, and here's how your maintenance agreement program works. All of that will be part of that. And the reason it's so important to you as a business owner is because of this. When you take something that you know and you move forward with business, like you may be the best service tech in your area. Maybe you do the best installs in your area. You do the best technical work in your area, but the homeowners, the equipment owners, residential, commercial, doesn't matter. They don't know that it's really the best work. They'll say, yeah, you do the best work. Oh, you're the best because it just got up and running and it starts blowing cold air again. But they really don't know what it is. What they're sold on is your passion, your commitment to what you're doing. And so when you learn to communicate your business in a way, they call that the X factor. I don't know what it is about that company, but I just trust them. They're the best, right? They always show up on time. They do these things right. That's the company in your market that's getting all the business at the higher prices. And there you are bumping your head, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 less expensive and can't get the sale. Because you're not perceived properly. Change your public's perception of you, and you change the path in which you travel. It gets much richer, much broader, much more successful. And so training is going to be a part of that. So before you can make any change, we have to face your current perception of that. So you think running a business needs to be this way. 38 years, I'm going to tell you, it's probably not exactly what you think. Maybe you're right. Maybe some areas you're not. But we can together get you going the right way. But you won't do it until you buy in. So here's what I have to do. I have to bring evidence to you and say, this is why what you're doing right now needs to change. Look at this. And we show these results, and we look at this, and we look at that, and we dissect. And then you have that aha moment. They call that a paradigm shift, when all of a sudden you go, I get it. I get it. Now, what that creates is motivation internally, not externally. You get out there and get it done. It's internally. This is the way I need to do it. And then that's when real change happens. Now, if that's necessary for you, the business owner, you don't think that's necessary for your team. You don't think there's a reason when you ask your employees to do something, they always do it their own way. It's because of their beliefs. And that's what the X Factor is about. It's about adjusting beliefs from assumptions to reality, to proven reality. From here's the way it's supposed to work to this is what really gets results. And here's why. And it's the right thing to do. So there's a ton of reasons why most businesses are struggling. So it's not a single fix. Most businesses that I work with are making these slight adjustments 2-3 dozen times, 2-3 dozen areas of their business versus one big adjustment. They're small, but they synergize. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 in that case. It equals 4. +1 + 1 + 1 might equal 20. The results are much more powerful. and I'm speaking a little bit in circles. I apologize for that, but I'm just really passionate about this because, guys, I've been there. There's no reason for you to be out working today. You right now should be at home with your family. I hope you are. I hope you're watching this from your bed or from beside the pool if you've got one, or out on the lake, somewhere where you can spend time with what really matters, and that's your family. Because so many of us put so much time into their business and working and running until the family gets put to the wayside and a divorce is waiting on you down the line. That's no fun, and it's not worth it. The $1 million mindset. Do you really want $1 million mindset? Do you know that if you change who you are to have the mindset of somebody else so that you can have what they got, do you really want that? You know what that means? You don't need $1 million mindset. You need your mindset refined, your values brought out. We take pride in our work, right? We do this for family. We do this for love. We do this for integrity. We do this because it's the right thing to do. Not so I can buy a yacht, buy a bigger house. That's a lot. We've been lied to. We've been lied to. Success is measured in a host of different ways. Hopefully, you're measuring your success with the right ruler. Some things to think about. Pete Ramsey running a little long today, 16 minutes. Not very many lives, so most of y'all see this on the recording, but that's cool. You guys be safe out there. Enjoy your Sunday. Family first, God first, family first. Got to take care of business if your business is going to take care of you, right? So there's responsibility there, but just keep your priorities in check, and if you need anything, reach out. I'm at hvacgreatness@gmail.com, and we've got an HVAC Greatness private group on Facebook, but we're redesigning the websites. We're going to have some really cool stuff for you. Stick around, watch for the updates, and you're going to get a little bit of sampling on a lot of this stuff at no charge, obviously, which is the whole part of the HVAC Greatness movement, is to improve the industry as a whole. It's to give your wife their husband back, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. You guys be safe out there, and wishing everybody the best. Have a great summer and be proactive during all that reactive work, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.